Welcome. This is a Breath of Fire tutorial. Breath of Fire is an exercise that is incorporated into many Kundalini Yoga kriyas and meditations. It's also a practice in and of itself. In yogic philosophy, they say that the length of your life is determined by a certain number of breaths. Once you've breathed all those breaths, the life is over. Also, in yogic philosophy, they say that breath of fire counts as one breath. And what I mean by that is if you did breath of fire for 31 minutes, that would count as one breath versus how many actual breaths you would have done in that 31 minutes. So that's kind of fun to think about. Breath of fire has a lot of physiological benefits. I personally think of it as this kind of like powering up the battery and clearing out the crap, the junk, the stuff that we don't need anymore, and really energizing the whole system. So, to practice breath of fire, you can try practicing it actually on your back, where you can really feel the rise and fall of your belly as you breathe. So that's a nice way to get in touch with, is your belly coming up or out on your inhale, and is it coming in on your exhale? So that's one way to start. Breath of fire just looks and sounds like this. This feels very sustainable, like I could actually do this for 31 minutes or longer. So I'm not hyperventilating. My inhales and my exhales are equal. However, the emphasis is on the exhale. So it's a kind of powerful exhale and then an automatic inhale. The way the mechanism is working is when the breath leaves the body, the diaphragm is actually coming up. So on those kind of activated exhales, the diaphragm comes up and my belly comes in. So the belly button comes into the spine as the diaphragm comes up. It's not just a pumping of the belly. That's not the breath. It's actually kind of in with the belly and up with the diaphragm. Okay, so that's a lot. I don't want you to overthink your breath of fire, especially when you're building it out. Let it be natural, find the flow. So a good way to start is just imagine you're like the cutest dog ever, and you're outside and it's very hot and you're just panting. That natural dog pant action is very much breath of fire. And you can slow it down a little bit so you can kind of capture the rhythm of it. And then do it through the nose. Unless otherwise specified, breath of fire is done through the nose. Now, there are some exercises where it is done through the mouth. In fact, there's even exercises where it's done through the mouth with the tongue out. But without a specification, it's done through the nose. If you are menstruating, then it's wise not to practice breath of fire. The breath of fire is really building energy, and during that time, it's more of a releasing and a cleansing form of energy. So those two can sometimes be kind of at each not congruent. So, um, you know, listen to your body. If it's the beginning of your cycle or the end, it should be okay. But typically, it's taught not to be done on your menstrual cycle. As well as if you're pregnant, this is not a breath that you practice without some other type of medical advice. It's also, since it is an energizing breath, a breath that you don't want to practice at night. um, it really is a nice energizing, throughout the day, or if you're at work and you're feeling kind of like, oh, maybe I need a chocolate or a coffee. Maybe you actually need just a little breath of fire to oxygenate your blood, to get everything moving, to start feeling wonderful. A nice practice is to start doing breath of fire for 3 minutes. It takes your blood 3 minutes to circulate one time through your body. So doing breath of fire for 3 minutes oxygenates one full cycle of blood, and it's a really nice place to start. I think I've covered everything, or at least enough for you to get started. There's certainly a lot more to unpack, but I think that's the basics. Let's end this by actually practicing breath of fire together for 3 minutes. So get in a comfortable position, tall spine. One other thing, if you practice breath of fire in a class of other Kundalini practitioners, maybe some who've been practicing for many years, their breath of fire could be very fast and very powerful. That kind of stuff. Don't feel that you have to be that person. It's more important that you build up the mechanism of the breath correctly and not try to compete or go fast. Kundalini yoga is so fast already that you don't need to make it go any faster. In fact, it's better to take your time and give yourself extra space to integrate and to build. Okay, let's do our breath of fire. So get comfortable, get tall, and let's begin. Relax your belly, and then let your body take a nice deep inhale and exhale. And enjoy your revitalized self.